how do you compete with Google LSA, local service ads, when doing pay per call? Okay, so for those of you guys that aren't familiar with Google local service ads, do a little search inside of Google on what they're for, and you'll find us ranking at Digital Triggers on the first page. And I've done like a big step-by-step layout of it, a case study of it, comparing the costs versus AdWords and everything else. And we keep this thing updated because it's something that I'm really paying attention to. And the person who asked this question, sorry I can't do you justice and shout you out live, I don't have your name here. I guess I got to start putting it on this title slide. The person that asked this question is like, their mind's going down the right path, right? At the end of the day, Google LSA, at least right now, is cheaper than pay-per-click. Okay, in most markets, or at least as it stands right now, it's hard for me to make like this blanket statement, all right? And LSA are the ads at the top of Google for just some niches that say like Google guaranteed, and they have that little badge, and then you can like see info about the business and fill out a form request or make a phone call. That's Google LSA. And Google is now charging per lead. Right? So this is Google's model, right? Pay per lead with LSA. So again, the question is, how do you compete with Google LSA when doing pay per call? So for me, guys, like I don't compete. Like why on God's green earth would you compete with LSA if it's cheaper than pay-per-click ads? Like, why would you try to have an apples to apples comparison comparing your service to LSA? Like, you shouldn't. Like, obviously, like that's a retarded thing to do. Right? Look, Mr. Prospect, I want to charge you a whole lot more than Google is charging you. Buy my leads instead of Google's. Like, who the hell are you, bro? So I would never try to compete with Google LSA. Okay? So first and foremost, you guys got the ketchup and mustard. I brought you up to speed, right? LSA is cheaper than pay-per-click in terms of cost per lead, right? Google now with LSA is charging per lead. Like, don't compete on price, okay? So what is the way, right, that we can leverage Google LSA? How can we make this a win for everybody in pay-per-lead and pay-per-call? What do we do? Right? How do we turn the market on its head? Right? And I'm sure that some of you guys have already figured out the answer in your head. You have a good angle, and you guys are the ones that are killing in the marketplace because you're thinking on your feet. How do we use this as a sales angle and a sales enabler instead of thinking about how we compete? So for me, this is a sales angle. There's a lot of people, when you hit them up on a local level and you're trying to sell them pay-per-call, local businesses, right? And it doesn't matter what niche, but a lot of niches out there, they have no idea what the hell pay-per-call even is, right? So you're trying to sell them something that now you got to explain. And it's easy to get to the end result explaining, right? But I'm letting LSA be one of my filters, right? If people are already paying per call or paying per lead, I'm not going to try to compete with Google LSA in terms of price, right? And in terms of quality and everything else. No, it's just like, hey, Mr. Prospect, if you need more than Google LSA is providing, let me know, I can help you. Like my best customers in pay per call aren't ones that only spent money with me and the only thing that they did was pay per call. Quite the opposite. My best pay-per-call customers are the ones that are growing at a rapid pace. They understand their numbers and they're willing to pay me max dollar to get them more because they're having a scaling problem. They're doing Google ads, they're doing Google LSA, right? They're ranking organically, they're in the 3-pack, right? They're hitting everything that they possibly freaking can and they still want more. Like folks, those are your whales. Those are your big customers. And not only are they whales, but they're like stress-free whales because they've already figured it. All the client education is gone. You get to skip that shit. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody joining me live on the call, give me a 1. Like, don't freaking compete. Go after the people doing Google LSA and be like, dude, congratulations, great freaking job. How's it going? Right? Can I help you get more? Let Google LSA do the filtering. Good stuff. All right.